is Lebo Munama. I'm coming from an organization called Capricorn Ignited LGBTIQ+, which is based in the city of Polokwane in the Limpopo province of South Africa. So what we basically do, our focus is LGBTIQ+ advocacy, just general standing up for LGBTIQ+ people in Limpopo. I came here to form part of the symposium so that we can share ideas across provinces and we understand the challenges that we come across, the commonality thereof, and how we can best have solutions as the LGBTIQ+ sector, not looking at individualism of organizations and people, but focusing on the movement and ensuring that we rise as LGBTIQ+ in the country. First of all, I believe unity comes from us as the sector first. So if we as the sector now are separating the alphabets in terms of let's focus on these ones only, let's focus on those ones only, that is one where we're giving other people from outside a chance to now penetrate us and divide us. We are representing a variety of gender issues or sexual orientations or characteristics. So we should avoid separating them. If I'm advocating for LGBTIQ+, I'm advocating for everyone. So, but now if I start separating it myself, then I'm giving people outside an impression that, oh, they are different, so it means if we can attack one group, then we'll be able to penetrate the whole sector as a whole. So we need to avoid saying LBQ, T and I, what, we are LGBTIQ+, plus the others as well. So we need to incorporate our advocacy to ensure that we always move in one direction. So for me personally, this division, it's frustrating me as well. Because you find that I'm in a province, it's a rural province, other organizations from bigger cities are coming, and they're saying, no, I'm coming, the funding says now we need to focus on this. In my province, advocacy, it's not the same as in this province. My level of advocacy there, I'm still trying to ensure that people understand what LGBTIQ+. So now if I start saying, no, today we're going to talk about this only, it creates a lot of friction within the movement itself. It's making us lose focus and direction. So I believe we need to come back together as LGBTIQ sector. I feel like when the movement started rising, I would say rising because all this thing has been existing all along. But the challenge is now when we experience technology, then we start rising and then we're visible everywhere. Then it's like LGBTIQ+ this, LGBTIQ+ that. It's our moment. It's just like gender-based violence. When women now are rising, it's because they've been through a long period of oppression. But now that they're able to raise their voices and they're getting attention of the media as well and departments in terms of laws and policies, men now feel threatened that this thing is focused on women only. Whereas the issue here is addressing the most burning challenges. I would give an example and say there are 2 fires that are burning, 2 houses that are burning. So when we call firefighters, when they come, this house next door is about to burn, but this one already is burning. So when the firefighters come, they need to stop the already burning fire so that it does not escalate to the areas that are not burning. So that is why in terms of gender-based violence, in terms of awareness about LGBTIQ+, we are addressing what has been oppressed all along. So we need to address it in uniformity and not separate and confuse people as well. Before we say you are a woman, first of all, you are a human being. So if we can approach it from that level to understand each other as human beings, first before we even putting in other characteristics of a person. I would say as a sector, LGBTIQ+ sector in our province, we're still rising. So in terms of media, they even know that there are few people who are open to talk about LGBTIQ+ issues. So even when they try to mobilize, they will mobilize or they will interview those people that they know that they are public figures already, that know how to communicate. So we had a challenge previously, some few years back, whereby they wanted an interview from a radio station. and I was not available. And some of my colleagues whom I know can articulate much better LGBTIQ plus issues were also not available for that.
Yes.
So we just sent one of our members who's an LGBTIQ plus, who still needs sensitizing themselves. So I felt from that interview, because the person was just talking out of context, most of the things I would say. But instead of them protecting the context of the interview, the interviewer also would use that opportunity to make themselves come out as, we've got the story, we've got the negativity that we wanted, so that there's more interest in the conversations that have been held. So in terms of media, it like they always say, it can make you or it can break you.
Sure.
So it depends on who is approached and how the person is approached, and how we can further take LGBTQ plus sector through the media. So right now, I would say we're still average in our province in terms of media. There's not much influence as such. Even them, they're still trying to grasp the gender issues and understanding LGBTQ plus. So they would need someone who will go there and clarify LGBTQ plus from the perspective of humanity, biology, science, so that they understand the origin of LGBTQ plus, and then forget about the social norms that have been there in our communities.
You said something so interesting, the origin of being queer. What does that mean to you?
Like I said, the most important thing is let's start by being human beings. So even in our sessions in communities, when we go there to sensitize, we don't talk about these big terms that are also confusing us as LGBTIQ plus activists. There are so many big terms, English, Italian, whatever names that keep coming. What we do is we focus on the basics of understanding how a human being is being birthed, the biology part, and then we then go to the social norms, what society is saying, and how the person is feeling. So we focus more based on that, so that people understand better where LGBTIQ plus comes from, and not to say it's coming from Johannesburg, or they see these people from Joburg, they see it from TV, because there it's rural areas. When they see you as an LGBTIQ plus person, they think, they just went to Joburg for 1 year, then they come back, they change attitudes, they change behaviors. But then, whereas when you go and sensitize them, then you explain that the people, we are used to binaries. There's a child born, it's male because of what is allocated between their legs. There's a child born, it's female, but what about the other groups? Then, do you understand where the other groups are coming from this scenario of giving birth?
Intersex children.
Of a child, exactly. So when we explain it like that to our communities, and especially trying to use the vernac, the local language, so that they understand, that's why I'm saying these big terms also are frustrating people, because it's just so many terms, so many alphabets being put together, not even being explained sometimes. So just those basics of making people understand where LGBTIQ plus comes from, it's making things simpler. Bit by bit we are getting there, but the problem is, how are we approaching it nationally as a sector? If I'm doing these things different, then I see it's working, and others are just doing it otherwise, and it's not bringing the unity of the movement nationally. So it means also we need to go back as a structure to say, how can we best advocate for LGBTIQ plus nationally? I once said in one of the sessions that I feel like, going back to that issue that I dropped earlier on, that when we started this movement, when we started rising and the media came and when we were visible, it's like everybody was just like, there's a bus, it's going, it's LGBTI.
Let's just hop on.
Are you in? You are LGBTI, ngena. Then everybody just came, getting inside, without understanding those basics as well. So that is why you see us, we're like popcorns. Everybody is popping there, popping there, popping there. And then we don't have that uniformity. That is what is making us as a sector to look like we are losing, of which we are not. If we can come back, restructure, regroup, I'm sure we can do something. we are living. People will be born every day. There are generations that are still coming. I was born into this movement not even knowing what am I. I didn't understand. I grew up there isolated, not knowing. So when all this information came, I started understanding myself, and I became confident. So I'm hopeful because I believe that even those that are still coming, at least they'll find the foundation being done by us to say there's this group of people who are existing on this planet. And also them, if we capacitate the younger ones as well, so that the movement continues. One day, we might even not have LGBTIQ plus advocacy, because then maybe everybody will be clued up, like, okay, there's men, there's women, there's intersex, there's transgenders, then there's what. Then we don't have to do all this movement thing of sensitizing people. The reason we're doing it now is because we're changing the social norms. The history that has been oppressing because of lack of knowledge of understanding these gender issues. As a black nation, we never had time to understand gender issues. We were still fighting apartheid. We were still fighting to be an accepted person as a black person. So as families, we didn't have time for gender issues. Even when you start talking about sex issues and what it's an abomination. That's how we grew, because of the culture that we grew in. So I'm hopeful because I see things are changing. Day by day, things are changing. So I'm hopeful that even the generation that comes, if they can be focused now, then we can go further. But if now, with what I'm seeing currently, some of our youth, they don't have interest. You will call youth to dialogue so that we engage with community members who are not LGBTIQ+. They don't come. But then you call a session whereby there's entertainment, there's beer and everything, it's galore. Then we ask ourselves, what is it that we're teaching each other? What is it that we are instilling in each other, in the young generation? So I am 50-50 hopeful. I'm doing my part in ensuring that at least my area where I am, people are capacitated. So I'm hopeful that maybe someone will have the same passion that I had, take it over and go forward. So even now, most of my funding, I focus on programs that will help me to sensitize and capacitate. Because I see that if I give up now, then I'll leave my province hanging, and it's going to be a challenge. But I am hopeful.
I mean, it's very inspiring what you're saying, and you mentioned that you make sure that you capacitate other people, right? Yesterday we had the round table and we asked everyone in the room, what are you accountable for? Outside of capacitating young people in Limpopo, you as an activist, as a black lesbian, what are you accountable for?
I think I've started that already. The fact that I'm coming from a province that didn't have much visibility and awareness and engagement within municipalities and government itself. Because one of the challenges that we have, it's as a sector, as LGBTIQ plus sector, we tend to like isolating ourselves. If we do programs, it's LGBT people and what. Yet we are saying we are fighting to be seen, integrated, and accepted. So the core issue here is we need to restructure how we are engaging with communities as well. It can't be. We can't just be LGBTI and say we're capacitating LGBTI. That LGBTIQ person is coming from a family, from a family structure. So whatever we do, we need to engage. For you to walk safely on the street, the lights must be working. You understand? So for you to walk out to town looking nice, there must be water in the community. So the issue, it's not about your gender issues or who you sleep with or how you sleep with other people. We need to engage across all borders. Community, meeting let's go there. Meeting safety in the community, let's go there. Which is why in our province, as I'm sitting here, I'm the secretary of Community Safety Forum, which is run by municipalities. So I'm part of the municipality, I'm even on the district level. So we engage in this kind of issues. We go to meetings with several departments. We talk about electricity issue. We talk about unsafe areas where the grasses are growing higher and people can't cross. It's not a matter of gender or being a lesbian. It's a matter of safety. So we've moved that genderism within that context to say now we're talking about safety issues in a community as a community member. So that's why I'm saying the way we approach our advocacy as well needs to be improved. We can't just focus on LGBT, us. It's us with everyone.